Hi, Flosstube.
Hi, how are you?
I'm Allie.
I'm Amy.
And we are Lost Our Needles, back for, I think it's like episode 19.
Oh gosh, man, time has flown.
Yeah, so we are a Flosstube channel, which means we talk predominantly about cross stitch.
The occasional book thrown in for good measure.
And just life. So, what's been happening in the life of Amy?
Not much. Just been doing a lot of projects around the house. Spent last week cleaning out the garage, which desperately needed it. And just little things that needed to be done. This week, I'm heading to North Carolina on Friday to spend some time with friends. And there's a couple birthdays and stuff that I needed to get cards made. So the big thing this week, besides trying to get ready, which is tomorrow, I worked on the cards. So didn't get as much stitching as I'd like to get done the past couple of weeks, but just been productive, and that's a good thing.
But your cards are really pretty. Do you have them here to show? Because you guys are a crafty bunch.
I'll just share one because they're all basically the similar, but this is
with sympathy.
Yeah, I have a friend who lost her husband. Actually, a friend of my husband's just passed away, and sending it to his widow. But
that's beautiful, Mom.
Thank you. And the others are similar, just says happy birthday instead. So
I like the colors.
It was kind of time consuming. I can't take the credit for it. I kind of sort of copied somebody's idea from Instagram, but I didn't have everything she did. So just kind of made it my own. So anyway, other than that, just been busy with stuff around the house, pitching, throwing, washing, vacuuming, that kind of stuff. So how about you?
Well, we just are on our second week back from spring break. So since I think we are starting spring break when we were last filming.
Yep.
And I felt like spring break was really good. It was like a good balance of like staying not busy, but active, and then having time to chill. So yeah. Bless Mom's heart, she helped me paint my dining room and living room. So I had lavender in my living room, and then like an accent wall in the dining room that's connected, and then like underneath the island in the kitchen, because it's kind of all one big room.
Yeah.
So the dining room is now this beautiful like cornflower blue, not like a lighter shade almost of my shirt, of this like under shirt.
just a skosh lighter.
And then the living room went white, which my dad is cackling from heaven at us because he was always for white walls, and we were like, no, color.
I was very much a color wall person, still am.
Yeah, so I love the blue, I love the white. It's definitely changed the look of the room. The white makes it look much more open, but now it's just kind of fun trying to figure out how I'm gonna change the decorations a little bit to bring like a new bit of a style to it. So and then I got to go to the home opener for the Diamondbacks.
Yay.
Which was cool. They lost pretty big to the Cubs, but it was still a good time. They actually beat the Yankees at Yankee Stadium last night, so that was cool. I saw a concert over break, saw Chris Young at like the KNIX, which is our local country radio station, but Chris Young was at their smoke show, which is only like 20 minutes from our house, which was fantastic. And then just a lot of little things, hanging out with friends, book shopping, reading, church.
Yep.
It was really nice. The weather was like cool. So there were times where like just enjoying having the windows thrown open and.
Yeah. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to do that. Today's been a cool, cloudy day for the most part. Really windy, but cool and cloudy. And then I think next week the temperatures start to crank, and we're going to see close to 100, if not 100 here in the next week or two. So,
I woke up to the wind this morning, and like my house is like new, but it creaks with the wind.
It's settling, yeah.
So I heard like the house creaking and like the wind just hardcore going when my alarm went off. And I was like, maybe the power lines got knocked out and I can have a day off of school. Because Arizona does not have snow days, but we also don't get heat days.
Yeah, they don't give heat days either.
No such luck.
Yeah, the only thing, and sadly, well, it's a good thing, but we do get some pretty heavy windstorms coming through here. But they've done a good job. They weight the lines, and so it would take a lot to knock out power in the area. But every now and then, the lights do flicker. And I do apologize for those of you who, it is a beautiful day, and I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to leave the doors and windows open. And I have all my patio doors and windows open, and I have wind chimes, heavy, deep wind chimes right outside. So you may hear them ring-a-ling-a-ling a little bit, but and so I'm sorry if it distracts you, but I am not closing the doors because within another couple weeks we'll be entering our 6th month of having everything closed up.
Those of you that live in the north, your winter when everything is closed up is our summer.
Yep.
So yeah, I got a lot of like Flosstube watched, and for some of you guys, like I owe you an apology. The last couple of episodes, I like we haven't made a plan the last couple weeks.
Planned.
So,
and I'm not the planner.
Oh,
I'm a planner, but not.
That's where I'm at
planner.
in my week,
Yeah.
Being the planner. But I didn't write anything down, and so I kept. Oh, I gotta mention these Flosstubers. Oh, I gotta mention like these Flosstubes that I've been watching. And then we'd get to the end of the episode, and we'd stop recording, and I'd be like Swiper from Dora. Oh man.
Yeah.
So some Flosstubes that I have been watching. There's a lot of the ones that a lot of it is some ones I've watched before. I love the Carolina Stitchers, the Floss Bossing Cousins, Two Needles Pulling Thread.
The ones we watch.
The Camping Stitcher, Laura and like Stitching by the Shore. I watched Just Keep Stitching yesterday. But then a channel that I watched before but kind of was reintroduced to in the last couple weeks is the Vino Stitchers. And so they're another mother-daughter duo, and they do like a lot of Primrose Cottage and the Robin Pickens and like those bright, colorful pieces. And so I've seen some of their episodes where like they're like, oh, what are we drinking? It might be like a glass of wine that day, or it's cocoa or coffee, or but they're kind of fun. Yeah, I like the theme of like having what are they drinking with their episode. So yeah, just a lot of, it was cool seeing everybody's market haul and kind of what everyone's eye got drawn to.
Oh, I was going to show you all the patterns I got. But...
We can pause them.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just been really nice, like, kind of putting that on and having some time to just relax. And like yesterday, Monday, I came home and was like making zucchini bread and was like just had on a Flosstube while I did that. So that was nice. But yeah, so that's really like, other than that, back to business as usual at school. We gave the kids the ACT test, and they all act like they're the only ones to ever take an ACT. So we had like 8 kids out in my AP class today, and some of them were like, yeah, they decided just not to come to school after the ACT yesterday. I was like, you guys you were only here for 4.5 hours, and most of you went home afterwards. The gym afterwards, when everyone else was supposed to come to school, I think for the entire high school, we had maybe 100 kids, maybe. Because we did a staff student volleyball game. So.
But you ruined your leggings, so.
We're just gonna pretend.
I hope you got the point.
We're gonna pretend I did.
Okay.
It was like a diving save. I missed my knee pads.
Rug burned your knees, yeah.
So, one thing I did over break was you helped me fully finish some projects.
I did. We spent a day looking for fabric. And then helped her finish a project.
Oh yeah, we checked out SAS. Do you want to talk about like?
Yeah, I don't know what SAS stands for. I can't remember, but it's a fabric store in the area. And the one we went to, because we took my sister-in-law for lunch in Scottsdale, and she surprised us. Well, my other sister-in-law surprised us with her niece, or her daughter and son were there with their kids, which we weren't expecting. It's kind of funny story. You walk into the restaurant and they go, oh yeah, we have a table reservation for Anne for 8. And it's like, 8? There should only be 4 of us. So we said, oh, just put us at a table for 4. And then about 15 minutes later, Anne walks in. She knew, she had a hunch. And then Anne walks in with
the whole
gang. And we needed 8, but it was so much fun to just see them. It was a lovely surprise. And so on our way home, we stopped at this, I think it's a SAS. I don't know if it's a true SAS, but it's a SAS remnant outlet store, but it was right on the way home. Barely had to get off the highway. And we found a couple of things.
It's what I imagine like a thrift store just for fabric would be like.
Yeah. Yeah.
It kind of had that smell. It kind of had that feel to it.
It's a very old building. And,
but we found some.
found some stuff.
You found stuff for your pillow when you have time to make that.
Yeah.
I think you've been busier than I have lately.
I couldn't tell you why, but
yeah.
I feel like that.
But so anyway, we did.
So then we came home, and the next day, or then 2 days later, we got together.
So we also did IKEA over break because my sister is getting ready to move into an apartment in a couple months, so she wanted to check out some furniture. And I found these picture frames from IKEA. And so I created just a couple flat boards. One, it's a fully finish, or it's a finish and a fully finish. I finished my little leprechaun dude. This is a Lucky Leprechaun by Emily Call. And I had most of him done. I think I had to finish like the pot, the heart, and then I backstitched the shamrock. But I love him. He's cute. And so I put in a magnet. I think I need a bigger magnet for in here because it gets a little sloppy. But so he can just sit right in there. Oh, I forgot my paisley and polka dots thing I was going to bring to show. Okay, anyway.
It's always something.
So then I have this, and then I also finished. I realized I like the stitching a lot more than I like the finishing.
And I love to finish
Emily's,
when I'm in the mood.
Actually, both of these are Emily Call's.
Yeah?
Emily Call's Haunted House, which I stitched. This is like my Stitch West stitch, which I absolutely adore because like I found the fabric at Stitch West. I bought most of the colors at Stitch West. The only colors that I didn't buy at Stitch West were gifted to me at Stitch West. So it was just really fun. And then this background fabric we found at Sass. So,
It's
and then
just
also
a kind of smoky gray.
which kind of goes with the smoky of the purple.
It's like you need a flatter, rounder, bigger
Yeah.
magnet for in there, but
So
it works to show.
But I spoke of the paisley and polka dots because y'all influenced me, and I'd seen several floss tubes, including, I missed one, B&E Stitchery. Is it, the mom is like Becky or Becca, and Emma is the daughter. I'll tag them. But I showed you the picture from their floss tube. But several of you had that paisley and polka dots calendar piece.
Calendar box
Yeah,
frame.
where like you can like flip the dates and stuff, and then there's space for your cross stitch. It didn't come in the mail until the day after I finished these, so these are too big. So that just means I have to find a whole new slew of projects to work on to fit in there. But I'm probably going to end up taking that to school because updating the calendar in there is a lot more. And then, yeah, just bring some seasonal stuff to my class. That's not staying.
Yeah, just leave it be, yeah.
Sorry. But then it also has like a day. I didn't realize it until I was looking through the tiles. It also has like days till.
Oh.
So I could do like days till the AP test and countdowns to like spring break or things like that.
Or your trip to DC.
Right.
Okay, well that'll be fun.
So I'm excited to bring that to school. I was not bringing it to school because I wanted to bring it to the floss tube. And I was like, once I show it on the floss tube, I can take it to my classroom. Joke's on me. Joke's on me. Anyway, then I have one more fully finished. I realized, so this is Erin. Wow, I have like 2 designers. Nope, just kidding, 3. Okay. Erin Elizabeth's American flag, which I stitched last summer. I don't even have
I think it was last summer, fall.
But it was last Nashville market release. I think I went to the attic. So I went to the attic after Nashville market last year just to see what I could find. And I bought this because then they're like, oh, did you see we had the silk pack for it?
That's right.
I was like, no. So these are with the called for dinky dyes. And I love it and it's beautiful. We're not gonna look at the fact that I didn't block it out very well. But again, this is just another IKEA frame, so it's just like a couple dollars. And I was gonna mat it and put like color behind it, but I really didn't want to take away from the flag.
All the white kind of just draws your eyes right into the flag, which is very Very cool.
So I just really love this. It's going up on my like shelves in my hallway. It'll be like probably an all year round stitch.
Yep.
But
turned out so nice though.
I love it. So
we had a busy day that day when we were finishing your stuff.
we had a couple other things I wanted to fully finish. I was like, Mom, we're good.
We were both kind of burnt out by that point.
Yeah. So those are my fully finishes.
I don't have any. I was been so busy just helping you get yours done, and then
which is appreciated. So thank you.
I know, honey. No, and then just trying to get some of these projects done around here that I wanted to get done, like cleaning out the garage. My husband was a
pack rat.
He was a pack rat, but he was also very particular about his garage. And that has not been my priority since he passed away, and I was starting to feel guilty. I know that sounds weird, but so it needed to be done. Took everything out, washed the floors, pitched and threw. I mean, he has every cord for computers since we started dating in 1982.
He was that person. Mom sent us this video where the son is trying to get his bed sitting right, and it's like, oh, I need a piece of wood just like this, and then like
very
this, like specific measurements. And the dad's face lights up. I have just the thing, and he's like slow motion running to the basement. You guys have probably
seen this.
And then like throwing through and picks it up, and it's like exactly what the son. And he shows up to the son, and he's like, how about this? And the son, very dramatic, was like, that's perfect. Something he's been waiting for all of his life.
Yeah, he kept every cord, that computer cord, electrical cord. I don't even know if he knew. I went through one drawer, and you know when you're doing electrical wire and you have to kind of snip it and clear it to get the wire cleared so that you can free the right. Anyway, he had 8 wire strippers.
Can I have a pair of wire strippers?
Yes, he had 8 pairs of wire strippers in 3 different drawers, and he was very organized, but somehow
he probably could never find them, so he's like,
he went out and bought another pair.
I found a cleaning thing where it's like, if you don't use it very often, or you can't remember the last time you used it, and you can buy it again for $20 or less, just throw it away.
Well, he shouldn't have done that. That's wrong. I think in some cases he just needed to anyway. So I was just kind of thinning out through, and cords that nobody uses anymore, and kind of just trying to thin life out a little bit. I don't want to get rid of important tools, because between the girls, and hopefully someday Oliver will have his own home and he'll want some of this stuff, and I'm gonna need, I can't get rid of all that, but anyway, so got everything washed, vacuumed, put away, and now my garage is probably cleaner than my living room right now. I mean, my living room is tidy, but anyway, it just turned out, I feel better going out into the garage and having everything neat and tidy again. Did a bunch of donations to Goodwill with all the Christmas stuff, and anyway.
But so no fully finishes.
So no fully finishes.
But you have a finish.
I don't have a finish.
Oh, just kidding. You have
just
a
almost finished.
I took a peek at it and I thought it was finished. So my bad, guys.
So I think last time I told you about it. It's the Crockett Gogò. And I'm so sorry if I say it wrong. I keep trying to remember it. And it's the Poppies d'estate. Anyway, it's Poppies. And this doesn't do it justice. I think my printer was off that day. But it's beautiful poppies. I love poppies. I've always loved poppies.
What's the name of the pattern? Very helpful. She has a project tag with just the name of the linen on it.
Yeah.
Lovely.
But anyway, they're just wild poppies is what they just do. Wild poppies. I think that's what that translates. And so in the evening I'd sit down, for work on it a little bit. But I'd been anyway. So here's where I'm at.
I couldn't even tell that wasn't finished.
It just needs, there's one more big flower down here, and then a bunch of I think there's one more tiny little unbloomed poppy. Anyway, so it's almost done. Another couple of days and I could probably have it done. And I'm loving it, and it's gonna go behind me. I don't know if you can see, there's seaside
No, it's not gonna zoom.
poppies by the ocean, and I would like to get that framed and put it up there, kind of sitting together with the poppies. No, we're crooked. The phone isn't crooked. Anyway, so that's all I've really been working on. Been kind of tired by the end of the day, and work on it for as little as I can, or not as little as I can, work on it for a little bit every day.
Sounds good. I have several whips.
Then go right ahead. This is all about, much more about Allie today, just because you have started several projects and I have
I was like,
not.
that makes me sound like a
No, that's not what I meant. No. It's just, I've worked on one thing. I didn't work on my mermaid. I didn't work on my boat.
Okay.
I just needed,
Yeah.
by the end of the day, when you're done doing complicated things like washing, pitching, throwing, donating, you kind of need just something simple to turn your brain off. And that's what this was. The other two take too much brain power.
Makes
And
sense.
by 6 p.m., I'm got no brain to power.
I hear you. Yeah, it's that time of year where like I have like headaches like mingling in the back of my mind.
And it's been really windy, and so all the dust is blowing around, and trees are blooming, and flowers are blooming,
I'm
and
just glad I don't have the migraines of a couple
Yeah,
years. There was like
yeah.
my first year at the high school I was at, I came home every day with like a migraine,
Yeah.
and I was trying like blue light glasses. I was going to the doctor, and they were prescribing me like stronger than Excedrin extra,
yeah,
like,
extra strength.
and it wasn't
Excedrin.
touching it. And mom made the recommendation to try some allergy meds, and it helps. So literally spring break comes around for the last 5 years now, and I just know when spring break comes, it's time to start getting on the allergy meds. Otherwise, I'm going to be miserable all of fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then fourth quarter ends and I stop. But anyway, so I was waiting for a couple patterns and some floss to come in, and I realized I promised my sister a pattern a while ago. So had to get... You guys have been wonderful with your advice, but the first one is Tairn and Andarna from
Fourth
Niche.
wing?
Yeah, so Tairn and Andarna, the names are from the fourth wing. If you've been following us more
From
towards
the
the
beginning.
beginning, I have stitched this before, and I gave it to a friend. And my sister, the plan was always to stitch my sister one, but my sister kind of saw the two fabrics, and she had a fabric that she liked more. So I told her I would stitch her the second one on the different fabric. So this is Tairn and Andarna. I will double check, but I think it's from Niche Stitches on Etsy. But it's kind of it's not an official logo, but everyone kind of assumes it's the official logo of Tairn, who is the big black dragon, and then Andarna is the little gold dragon who doesn't really have wings yet. But Andarna's like metallic floss.
It's really pretty.
Yeah. And so this is just Belfast linen, like vintage country mocha. But it looks like kind of old paper, and that's what my sister wanted, where the fabric I used originally, it was supposed to be this kind of color, like a caramel macchiato by Fabrics by Stephanie, but with the gold and the black, it kind of looked more creamsicle-y.
Orangey.
So it still looked really cute. It just wasn't what she likes this one better. So now I'm restitching it for her, but trying to count, because it's like long rows where then you're just going over here, and I just wanted to outline it. This is undone because I was half a stitch off. So I was trying to stitch that like 2 down instead of like 1 down. And so we're gonna frog that one and just figure that one out. But then I'm gonna do Andarna, and then the lovely thing is then his wings are just straight fill.
You don't have to count, nothing.
Yeah, so it's once the hard part is done, it's a really relaxing stitch where I can just like sit there and fill without much thought. And then I have to share this. So last year I was talking about fourth wing and reading it with my friends, and Lisa from Handcrafted by Harvey was inspired. And so she designed this dragon project bag. With
So
them, like,
pretty. All the dragons.
and then like this almost like dragon claw bead. This started our love affair with Lisa Harvey. So this was like my first ever handcrafted by Lisa bag, and now 90% of my stash is handcrafted by Harvey bags.
Yep. I know there are a lot of good project bags out there, but
so Lisa, we love you.
Yeah.
So my dragon project goes in my dragon bag. Where else would it go? And then I was super excited to start stitching spring. Like as soon as the Lucky Leprechaun was done, like I was springing into spring. And was this a Nashville market release or has this just been out for a while? The Heart and Hand Blooming Tiny Town. I have not stitched a tiny town yet, so this is gonna be my first. I tripped over my own bag at work twice.
Oh, don't get me started.
Just leaving it in the middle of the floor.
Don't get me started.
So I started this. I'm super excited about it, but I changed the fabric. So I have all the called for floss. But I had this really pretty, here's my project tag card. So it's on a 32 count linen, Countess by Forbidden Fiber Co. So I was part of the Forbidden Fiber Co. Fabric of the Month for a long while, and now I'm actually starting to get to use some of the fabric because I'm getting adventurous. So it's like a light blue, off blue, white, purpley. No, just mostly blue.
No, it's just a really spring blue.
So I got the first little house in the tree, and then I started the house the other night.
I love the tiny towns. I need to get started on. Actually,
I think I'm gonna be pretty close to the edge over here. I think I'll have like an inch or two, but luckily it's just a flat board, so I'm not gonna need a ton of space. But I just love it. Like they're fun little really stitches.
Pretty, yes.
It's relatively easy to stitch. So I did that. That was a new start. I guess whips and new starts. So that was a new start for me. Do you have a new start?
Nope.
Okay, so sorry guys, you're getting a lot of me tonight. But yeah, I just love these colors. Like look at that yellow.
They're very pastel-y spring but not bright pastels.
Honestly,
they're soft.
I don't know if you guys have seen it before. This is like taking me by like this Classic Colorworks clay pot. You'd think it would be more of like a brownie, but it's this beautiful pink rose that I love it on the trees. Like that's just really pretty.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then the one thing that I did order from I didn't pre-order it, but I ordered it pretty quickly after, was Erin Elizabeth's Lemon Tier.
Her needlework or her Nashville needlework release.
Correct.
I think a lot of people got that one.
Yes. I've been kind of loving lemons the last couple of years, so I think I love, even when I had the lavender walls, I still liked yellow, even if it kind of clashed a little bit. Like I love bringing in sunflowers, and
it goes even prettier with the color of her dining room now.
Oh, sorry guys. So here, that's what this is.
Klutzy Mama.
And so my plan is in like the corner of my living room to put some like shelves up and kind of have a little bar corner, because I've been having fun trying different cocktails, and I've been using a lot of lemon, and so I think I kind of want to frame this. I would love to find this frame right here, to be honest.
I'm surprised it doesn't say something about that in the project. A lot of people include their things.
I might just have to, maybe not.
You just might have to do a little research. Go to her blog.
Anyway. So, but once again, I used some of my Forbidden Fiber Co. fabric, and this was, I did their book club for a couple months. Like, I love the idea of a cross-stitch project with a book. I found I didn't really enjoy stitching her patterns, and I feel terrible saying that, because like it was so much fun. So I had started one of her patterns on this fabric, because she sends you the book, or you could do it with Bookless and buy your own book, but then she'd send you the finished kit to just stitch all the floss, everything. So I can't remember the name of this fabric. I think it's beautiful. It's like a sky blue. I think I'm on the right side, yeah. So I have like the first tier of the tier done. Fun fact. I stitched it twice. I'm a top left to right stitcher. And so when I picked the top left of the tier, I didn't necessarily think about that being more center and it going out. So I put it slightly too far to the left.
And would have run over.
And so I would have been fine over here, but I was gonna run out of space over here or be very tight on it. And so Mom and I agreed it's better to just, I was gonna try and count down and stitch out the tiers and see if I had space. I just restitched it, but then I was in the middle of NCIS and I was stitching this leaf over, only to realize that I'd forgotten the second row of the shelf. So this whole piece got torn out and I had to restitch it, and it was like last Friday and I was like, I am not going to bed until this is done. So I was up till 11:45 like restitching the lemonade stand.
It'll all be worth it when it's done.
I'm a night owl by nature if I let myself be. The problem is lifestyle.
And
I've become an earlier morning person. I can't sleep past 8:30. 11:45 is late for me now. And so I was like, I want to go to bed, but I'm too competitive with myself. Like I told myself I was gonna have this finished stitching before I went to bed, and I did, but then I didn't, and I did. So it's been a we're on an adventure together with this pattern, but I love it. I'm ready to start getting on the next tier.
It'll be worth it when it's done.
I just think this is so cute, and it's gonna look really cute in my dining room.
It really will. It's gonna look lovely in there.
And then I'm putting this one in my other handcrafted by Harvey.
The book one.
Cats. My cat.
Oh,
cat with the books. And then this little cat fabric. I love it. And it has like a little cat medallion. And she actually gave me like a laced, tatted cat.
Floss holder.
Flass holder.
She's starting to sound like it's a Friday, not a Wednesday.
So anyway, I love her project bags. So that's
Is that up to
it
speed?
for my whips. Yeah. Now we just have plans, and you have something exciting to share.
So I told you the last time that one of my favorite patterns from the Nashville Needlework release was Robin Pickens' the Beanstalk Madras, and that my friend Emmy, who is the Mission Stitcher.
Mission Stitch,
sorry. She's a stitcher from Mission Stitch. Bought me the pattern at QuiltCon that was here in Phoenix. And we talked about stitching it together. And I know a couple of others of you have said that you would like to stitch it with us. So I finally got the fabric in, all my Nashville.
Will you show it?
So I finally got the fabric in, and last week, and all the floss that I have is in, and Emmy and I have chatted a little bit. And she is leaving for vacation this weekend. I am leaving for vacation on this weekend. So we are going to stitch it together. And if you would like to join us, we created a hashtag. Look at me creating a hashtag. It's just Pickens Beanstalk 25. Hashtag Pickens Beanstalk 25. So Emmy's going to start it roughly this weekend. I'll be starting it roughly this weekend, give or take, because the weather's supposed to be sunny the first couple of days we're there, and then it's supposed to get rainy.
This weekend being April 4th, 5th, and 6th. Like Friday is the 4th of April.
Yes.
Just in case you're not watching it in the next day or so.
Yep. So so if you'd like to join us, please use the hashtag. We'd love to see what you're doing. But here's the pattern. And I just fell in love with the colors and the fabric. Oh my goodness. Look at this fabric.
It's the color of your tiles in your kitchen.
Yeah. It's my color. I mean, to the T. And this is by, it's called Ivy. It's a 28 count linen from Fiber on a Whim. And it was, I don't know if she specifically got this for this pattern, but here are all the flosses. I mean, you can see on the pattern, but there's one thing to see it on a pattern, and then to see all the flosses in person is just, oi, oi, oi. it just,
Oh,
even
here.
the teals are gonna pop on this. I mean, even this one that's so close in color, or this one, they're still rich enough that they're just gonna, these two I really wanna pop on there. They're still gonna show up. I can't wait to start this. So I've got it all packed up. Sorry, Lisa, you're getting slammed today. My Lisa Harvey bag, very beach themed. And Emmy and I are gonna start it roughly this weekend or whenever we can. And if you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you join us.
And if you just want to follow along, and you don't already, we're on Instagram at Lost Our Needles. That's it. That's our, I can't think of the word, our handle on Instagram, same as on YouTube. So you can follow along and see Mom's progress.
If I remember to take pictures and post them.
I'll coerce her into, hey, give us an update in your stories.
And then Emmy's at Mission Stitch. She's on Instagram as well.
And YouTube. She's got an adorable, she is like a prolific stitcher. Her stitching
Work
is just incredible.
I mean,
and she doesn't stitch to finish. So like,
she finishes, she just doesn't fully finish. Yeah. She just loves the process.
She has these beautiful projects just hiding in her closet.
And she's just the kindest, I mean.
Yeah. We met so many good people at Stitch
Yeah,
West.
we really
and
did.
We're going
we looked
back,
at,
and I'm so excited.
Yeah. So anyway, follow or at least go check out Emmy. She's a sweetheart, and we'll be stitching that together. So we'd love to have you join us.
Okay. And then I don't have it with me, but my April plan is, some of you guys might have heard in our previous videos, I am stitching the U.S. Presidents by Clouds Factory on Etsy. And one of my goals for 2025 was to stitch one president a month. So I have Washington, Adams, and Jefferson done. And so now I have James Madison. So my goal for April is to have James Madison done and then finish the back stitching for Adams, Jefferson, and Madison.
Wednesday brain fart.
Oh,
and I am going to go, pardon me for shoving my face into the camera. I'm going to go get some of the things I got from Nashville Needlework.
So, in this intermission, why don't you guys share what you're planning to stitch next, what you're excited about that you're stitching right now, just what are you stitching for, what are you excited for? I know we have Easter coming up, so are you stitching Easter? Are you not really an Easter stitcher? What are you stitching on? We'd love to hear. I have a habit of, like, if you guys mention a pattern I'm not familiar with, I will jump over to Google and Google the pattern so I can see what you're stitching on. Because I think it's so much fun to see everybody's tastes and interests and the fabrics that you guys use. I love, a couple of you guys have sent pictures to, like, in messages on Instagram to us of maybe you're stitching something similar, or we ask a question and you guys share what you're stitching on. And I love seeing the different fabrics for the different flosses. And yeah, because by the next time we see you, Easter will be over. So Easter stitching will be done. I want to do the, I think it's an Emily Call one, surprise, surprise, but it's like pray always. I want to stitch that.
Yes. Okay.
Now
I'm
she's back.
Okay, so you know how excited I am about the Robin Pickens. But the second pattern that I was incredibly excited about, and I didn't share it the last time because I had a total brain fart, because that's what I do. It's the Tiny Town Nativity. And several of you mentioned that this was the one you were excited about too. And I can't wait to stitch this up. It's just the sweetest, I don't know, it's just Bethlehem. It's Christmas. So I'm super excited about this. So the Madras, the Tiny Town Nativity, and then Hands-On Designs, the Ladybug one, and I have the fabric that goes with it. Oops, sorry. No, my hand was blocking it. But the Ladybug, Julie's, my youngest daughter's nickname is Ladybug. I think we talked about that last time, so I won't go into the story again. But that, and then Emily Call, I guess a bunch of designers were doing the bird of the month. And I didn't get all the birds, but there were two birds that I really fell in love with because I have a thing for flamingos. So I got Emily Call's flamingo. It's called June. So she's for June. And then again, Crafty Blue Bonnet, she's doing Feathered Friends July, which is the 4th of July one, which I absolutely fell in love with as well. So those will be fun. Who knows when I'll get them done, but someday I'll do them.
I think, sorry, going back, I'm over here. I think there's a stitch along for the heart and hand where you just stitch any of the tiny towns. And I'm trying to figure out what that is. So
okay.
Sorry if I'm a little distracted over here.
Yeah, and then Sweet Wing Studios, the joy of the Lord is my strength. I loved this one, the orange, and the orange blossoms, speaking of, are blooming down here. And you walk outside, we have some huge orange orchards in the area, and everybody grows oranges down here and lemons. And you walk outside and you can just smell the orange blossom, and it's like, it is the most wonderful, next to lilacs, and it's just the most incredible smell is the orange trees in blossom. And then another one that I got, well, and I also got Emily Calls He Is Risen. That'll be a cute little, I didn't have time to do it for Easter, but I look forward to doing that. Well, I don't have time. And then Lucy Beam Love and Stitches. I've seen a couple people got this one too. It's Merry Christmas Holly.
You have a red fabric like that.
I do. And I just love the red border on the red, and then the holly. It's just simple and elegant and classic. So I'm excited about that. And the funnest thing that I got from Nashville Needle Market is a Satsuma Street.
Oh my goodness
Her groovy chicks. I don't know if you can see this, but these are cross-stitched fabric birds, and that you sew together and create these little birds. And they just make me smile every time I look at them. So I don't know when I'll get started on these, but I really, really want to do them. They're just bright. They're cheery. I'd love to do all three and have them sitting out on a little shelf.
The back over here, guys. Make eggs, not war.
And I love Satsuma Street. Her colors, her brightness, her sense of fun, her just...
Are the beaks like just a piece of felt, or are they like a finishing thing?
The beaks and the little tail feathers are going to be felt that you just sew into your finish.
So cute.
So anyway, I fell in love with those, and I had to get them. I don't know when I'll get them done, but they make me smile every time I look at them. And wouldn't they be cute sitting out on a little shelf? Just probably. So and then I didn't buy any fabric. I mean, just the fabric to go with the beanstalk, and then the fabric from Fabrics by Stephanie for the Ladybug by Hands On Design.
And then you got a new fabric of the month that was like a really pretty neutral or something, wasn't it? Or was it a fun color?
I already filed. No, this one was a really neutral, pale, kind of a white, but not.
Oh,
it was
that's
a snow.
right. It reminded me of
yes.
this fabric with kind of a little bit of like, you can't really tell in the light, but there's like just enough like grayish modeling in there to make the white look interesting.
Kind of looks like snow the day after it snowed. Not fresh snow, but not old snow gray. Either. Yeah. So anyway, so that was my Nashville Market haul.
You had quite the haul.
I did.
Other than the lemon tier, I really didn't get anything from Nashville. Nothing was like striking me like, other than the tier, like, I want to stitch that right now.
Well, we both really like the Tiny Town Nativity.
Yeah. But I was like, I was just ready for that spring one.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of stitching on a couple projects. Now that it's April, I called it April Showers, where it's like a girl in the rain with a red umbrella.
Oh, yeah. That was one of your first projects. Yep.
I never finished it because the metallic floss for the rain was slow and I wasn't enjoying it. So I would like to finish that.
Okay.
We'll see if I get to that because I want to get these done first.
And I think when I come back from my trip and I finish the Madras, I would like to start the Tiny Town Beach Town. Nice. I have all the floss, everything I need for it. So that one's kind of been pulling at the edge of my brain.
Nice. It's fun when like you get excited about a specific pattern.
Yeah. Or maybe the birds. I don't know. We'll see.
I like there's a couple people that have like an online roller where it's like
the old-fashioned Rolodex.
Kind of, but it's a digital version, and they have all of their like patterns where it's like they roll it and like, okay, what am I reading next or what am I stitching next? That would be interesting to put like all your
Oh,
patterns.
kind of like the old-fashioned, like the Wheel of Fortune, where you have to
Exactly.
roll it, and then whatever
But
it
you can
lands
get
on.
like 60 up there because we've used it for school, like prizes.
Okay, so
like
whatever it lands on, you have to commit to
that's
doing
what you
that.
stitch.
Nah, because I might not be in the mood.
Isn't that funny when you do
the
something?
way I
okay,
roll.
whatever rolls, I'll stitch, and then you're like, nope, don't want to do that one.
Roll it again.
Where you were maybe considering it before. I have a friend that's always like, food, book, something. She's making, okay, 1 or 2. And I'll be like, 2. And she's like,
1 it is.
Usually she's pretty good, but sometimes I was like, did you just want 1? So,
okay.
But anyway, just check along. Next week we have testing for this like state testing stuff that makes for a weird school schedule. Next week I have like 29-minute classes.
Yeah. And I'm excited to go to the Outer Banks. I haven't been there since Drew and I got married in '89. So
doing testing, and she's going on vacation.
Hopefully find a seashell or 2 and kind of explore the area and see if it's someplace I ever wanted to move to someday.
And you get to see Mike and Carol.
And spend time with Mike and Carol, my dear friends.
So
they've been gone all winter long traveling, so it'll be good to catch. And they've had some grand adventures, like scary adventures. So I want to hear the whole story and just spend time getting caught up with them.
But yeah, and then I don't know. I like doing like a quick book update. I really haven't read anything out of this world.
Yeah.
I did start a new book. So one of my other goals for the year is 12 nonfiction books for the year, roughly 1 a month. And I finished one up like a week or so before the end of March. And so my April book is The Anxious Generation. I read the introduction and a third to a half of the first chapter. And it's fascinating so far and kind of sad and scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing. Oh,
how's Anna Karenina coming?
Anna Karenina. I am over halfway done. Let me pull it up here so I can get you a percentage, guys, because I know y'all are invested. Thank you, Raquel, for having faith in me and all of you guys that said you can do it. There is one, I saw a copy at Barnes & Noble that's like the Penguin Classic, like hardcover, that's like metallic and
I can't believe you didn't get it. Mine are old and ugly.
I'll show, it's $30.
Okay.
I'll show you it.
If you finish the book, I'll buy it for you.
Okay.
As a reward. And Oliver, how far along is Oliver in War and Peace?
400 pages, 300 pages.
Okay.
So we're doing this.
You're doing it. And Elizabeth is still doing the Anna Karenina as well. She hasn't given up. Yep. Okay. She's determined to read it.
I am.
My kids are all stubborn. And even my soon-to-be someday daughter-in-law is stubborn too. That when she is challenged, it's very hard. And they inherited it from their mom and dad. If somebody wants me to do something, they just make it a dare. And now that I'm older, I don't do it quite so much. But so all my kids are quite determined, especially when they're in competition with each other. They're determined to not be the one to quit. Right?
58%. I am on the second book of the 2 volumes.
Okay, but here's the one last story. I talked to Oliver this week. He's been doing a lot of stuff. He's switching boats, and his life's a little chaotic right now. But he's convinced that listening to the Audible is cheating. Because are you really listening?
Yes.
Or do you get busy that you don't? These are questions. He's not saying you're not, but because I know I can't listen to Audible books because I don't hear the book. When I'm busy doing something else, I tune out.
For people that are saying that, there are books that I might do it, not this. As soon as I find myself starting to check out, I turn it off. Because it's not something... Tolstoy has a tendency to, I don't want to say ramble, but go into detail. And they're having philosophical debates.
It's a 1,000-page book. It's
so there's times where like if I'm finding myself checking out because like driving or my thoughts are just wandering, I turn off the audiobook.
Okay. He was just asking me about that.
No. Processing wise, audiobooks, there's a lot of research out that actually helps you in ways that reading don't. Like it's good to have both. But no, this one I am not checking out. Okay. I don't listen to it while I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Because I would you would get a little lost.
Yeah. I would think, because he is a wordy author, beautifully wordy author, but a wordy author that you would really, I would do better reading it than I would just doze.
I'm almost loving the subplot storyline. The sub-storyline. It's a subplot more than like the titular storyline of like Anna Karenina. Her story doesn't interest me as much as like Levin and his story does. So thank you for those of you guys that have faith.
Yes.
I will be finishing this. And actually the other night I got to, I was really like page turning it, was enjoying it. So
maybe you're getting into the meat of it.
I think if you guys are somewhat interested in it, I say go for it. I will be your
challenge
cheerleader.
yourself. Challenging yourself to a new read is out of your comfort zone is good.
But yeah, because now, and the audiobook helps because I'm doing like my nonfiction book, Anna Karenina. I haven't touched my like fun read since spring break, and then I'm doing a Lent study. Okay. So I feel like I'm getting a lot of different things poured in, and sometimes it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to like listen to it sometimes and not stop and sit. So anyway.
All right, folks. Well, that's about the poop scoop from Arizona.
Yep.
Our little corner of YouTube Flosstube.
Thank you for tagging along on this adventure. Again, share what you're stitching. Share what you're excited about. And then for those of you that celebrate Easter, enjoy. Happy Easter. He is risen. If you're coming to join along, hashtag Pickens haystack, needle stack?
Beanstalk.
Beanstalk 25.
She needs to go home and go to bed.
I need to upload the video and then I can go to bed.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
And I know, just shout out for those of you that have been to the Outer Banks recently, if there's a place that you think we're going to be staying in Nag's Head. If there's a place you think I absolutely need to check out, or most importantly of all, the best place to go shelling. That's my priority, of course. Please let me know.
Our friend Mike wants to know where the best ice cream is.
Yes, and Carol and I are shelling buddies. We want to know where the shells are.
So there we go.
Or where a good place in the central area, that whole area, if I were to move back there, where would be a good place to live as a single senior woman?
Senior adult living triumphantly.
Yeah, there we go. A place to live. I mean, let me know what you think about the Outer Banks if you've been there, and places to eat and shelling and all the good. Give me the tips.
So that's where we're at. Thank you for
joining us today.
We love you.